How to teach your dog a directional retrieve. I'm Becki, welcome to the Spaniel School. So today we're going to be doing something that a lot of you have requested after watching our hunting engagement game video, and that is directional retrieving. It is exactly as it sounds. You're teaching your dog to follow your directions for a retrieve. So I'm going to be using rabbit balls. When they roll on the ground, they leave a natural scent, so it's great for them getting their noses down and finding what it is that you've thrown out. It's also really high value for the dog, so they enjoy it as well. Now, a directional retrieve, as I say, is the basis of teaching your dog to hunt because they need to be able to follow your directions. But before you can directional retrieve, you need to make sure your dog will retrieve. So that's get out, throwing something out, then picking it, and bringing it back to you. Good girl. Now, once you've got your dog retrieving, you can step it up, add in these directions to build up to a directional retrieve. So here's how you do it. Step one. Now, if you haven't done this before with your dog, I recommend using something like a hedge or a wall or even a cabinet in your house. Start in a really low distraction environment. So as I say, if outside in the garden is too distracting, start in your house. Pop them up against a wall, a hedge, some sort of barrier. Now, the reason for this is so that when you do direct them, they're more likely to follow your direction because they can't go backwards. They can only look at you and go the way you want them to go. I'll say it in all my videos, but set your dog up for success. So if you can make it easier for them to get it right, do it. And that is what that barrier, that wall, that hedge, that cabinet is designed to do, is to help them get it right. Because when you're teaching something, you want them to get it right so they can learn. So although with my little Winnie here, I'm not going to have a barrier so that you can see exactly what's going on. When you train your dog for the first time doing directional retrieves, I recommend just popping something behind them so that they can more easily follow your directions and not go wrong. So you're going to bring your dog over to that barrier and sit them up. So in front of you, foot behind that barrier. And you're going to take a ball. As I say, I use a rabbit ball because it rolls and leaves a scent. You can use a dummy or a toy, entirely up to you. And you're just going to roll it. And the reason for this is we want to keep it nice and low energy. We don't want to throw it too far. It's going to be too distracting for the dog. We want a nice, calm environment. So I've just rolled it a metre or two away, and I'm going to use my whole body to send her for that retrieve. Get out. Good girl. Now, she was looking at me. I gave the full movement. I'm not just giving her a little wave. I'm not just using my hand or pointing. My whole body is moving the way I want her to go. Again, it's about setting your dog up for success. There's no ambiguity of which way there I want her to go. If I was just pointing, there's less chance that A, she's going to pick that up, and B, she's going to be able to follow it later on. So move your whole body towards where you want her to go as you use your release command. So mine is get out. Could be fetch it, whatever you use. So you're going to repeat that and just do it a few times, nice and calm. So sit them up, roll the ball, use your whole body, make sure they look at you, use your whole body, get out to send them. Good girl. So she preempted that slightly there. She knew which way I was going to send her. But the idea is you want to make it really obvious so that they're following you, not just going off their own backs. Because the next step is trickier. So once you've done one direction, do the other direction, work in the same way. Before we move on to step two, I'll just show you that. So again, sit your dog up, roll, wait for them to look, get out, use your whole body. Good girl. So do this a few times, make sure they're doing it 100% before you move anywhere more challenging or before you get rid of that barrier. So if you're starting this step one inside, come out, try it in your garden, on the grass, before you move to this step two. Just make sure they're getting success, the first step, before we step it up. Because step two involves 2 retrieves. It's a lot more exciting for the dog, so they've got to have a lot of self-control and more teamwork with you. Because what you're going to get them to do is pick whichever ball you send them for, not whichever ball that they want. There's a caveat to this though. When we're teaching the dog, go and get the ball I send you for, not the ball you want, we actually need to head work them a little bit. So if I throw one ball through a second ball, naturally, she is going to want to go for that ball that moved last. She's going to want to go for the chase, the movement, not the one that's sat over there. So when we're teaching this behaviour, we don't want to challenge them by sending them for the first ball we threw. We want to get them to get success by sending them for the second ball, the ball they want. Now, this is important. Again, want them to succeed, but this is making sure that they know they need to follow your hand movements, not just what they want. So that when they're reliably doing this 2-ball game, you can send them for this one first, or maybe you've put one there and send them for that one, or this one, and you can start to add more than 2 balls to this game. But for step 2 initially, up against that barrier again, introduce 2, ideally of the same value, so I've got 2 rabbit balls here. For whatever reason, the one that we've been using is more valuable to her than the brand new one. But ideally you want 2 of the same. This is so that there's no pressure on the dog to pick one over the other. So 2 of the same things, sit them up against the barrier, and you're going to roll one, roll the other. You're going to send your dog for that last thing that you threw. Again, moving your whole body. Don't make them wait. Don't add extra pressure. As soon as that last one's rolled and they've looked at you, send them for that last one. Recall them in. Take that off them, which is important. Make sure they don't dive straight and get the other one. So if they do, just make sure you stop them. Make sure you say "at" or something similar, and then send them for the other one with your whole body again. So I've made Winnie sit while I've been doing this talking. Hopefully that's increased her drive enough that she's going to run in for that second one, so I can show you exactly what to do when you take that first one off them. But let's see. So sit your dog up. I'm going to just pop her a little bit more central. Okay, roll the first one. Roll the second one. Now you can see her whole body shifted to that one. She wants that last ball, so I'm going to send her for it. Get out. Recall. Ah. Get out. Good girl. So you can see she did exactly what I was hoping she was going to do. Good girl. She didn't bolt off and run in. She waited a second and then went for the second one, and I just stopped her with an "ah." So you can see exactly what I just said happened with Winnie. That's fine, that's fine. You just need to know how to make sure your dog isn't getting success from ignoring you. So I'm sort of glad she almost went wrong so that I could show you what to do if your dog does the same. So the important thing is, repeat this a few times, just make sure they only get success, so they only get that retrieve from following your movement. So if you send sits, my fault, forgot to ask for a sit before I rolled those. So if you send your dog for that second one and they've gone for the first one, or vice versa, make sure they don't get to it before you've recalled them or before you've intervened, because you don't want them to get success from doing their own thing. They need to be listening to you and working as a team. So obviously Winnie wants that last ball. I'm going to actually send her for the second one. Now she should go and hit the second one, recall and go for the other one. If she doesn't, again, I'm hoping this sitting and waiting is building her drive up enough that she might go wrong, and then I can show you what to do. But if she didn't, I've only thrown those balls maybe two meters away either side. Could do it even shorter, just a meter, so that I can intervene with a negative verbal marker, and literally get in her way before she gets to the wrong ball. So she does know how to play this game. She should go for the one I send her for, but I'm hoping that making her wait, building this drive, is going to make her go wrong, so I can show you exactly how you would intervene. So let's try. Get out! Get out! Good girl. Good girl. So she actually didn't. She did do what I asked her to do. But if she hadn't, and she'd have been sat, and I'd sent her that way, and she went the other way, I would have had to intervene pretty quickly, which is why we want to keep it nice and calm for a start, so your dog's not bolting off really quickly, and why we're just rolling just a metre or two either side. Now, once your dog is following your directions, start to increase the distance.
So that is how you teach your dog to follow your directions to pick a retrieve. Once you've followed those steps and you're getting success, you can make it a little bit more difficult. As I say, doing longer throws, doing stops and directions mid-retrieve, and then start to hunt with them as well. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop us a comment if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like to see in any of these videos. And also thank you to everybody who's sent in videos of their dogs so far following these tips. Always lovely to see, so please keep doing that. And don't forget to drop us a follow on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok as well.